So earlier this year was my 10-year anniversary of being on YouTube, and I didn't really acknowledge or celebrate that momentous occasion because I felt kind of insecure and embarrassed because there's so many other creators who started around the same time that I did and have now reached, the absolute heights of success on YouTube. Meanwhile, little old me is still sitting at like 5,000 subscribers, and all along the way throughout the years I've said, this is the year I'm gonna reach 10,000 subscribers, this is the year I'm gonna reach 50,000, this is the year I'm gonna reach 100,000, and it still hasn't happened yet. So I felt embarrassed and like it's not really something to brag about that I've been on YouTube for 10 years now. But it did get me in the mood to kind of reflect and look back on my creative journey and my time on YouTube and how my creative process has changed and how my outlook on YouTube has changed and just creativity in general. So that's what we're going to be diving into today, is a little bit about my creative journey, my time on YouTube, the creative process, and imposter syndrome. When I first started posting on YouTube, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just posting with reckless abandon and just really excited to be here. My mom had never really let me have my own laptop or be on social media. She was very kind of overprotective about that kind of thing. So the only times I was able to watch YouTube in like my mid-teenage years was whenever I went to like friends' houses and they would show me like Jenna Marbles videos and stuff like that. And I thought it was so cool. It was like this brave new world to me. And in January of 2015, I decided in my little 16, 17-year-old heart that I didn't care anymore what my mom thought and I didn't care about her rules anymore. And I was going to post my first YouTube video, which I did. It was shot on photo booth on my mom's laptop because I still didn't have my own laptop, but she let me like use her laptop for schoolwork and stuff like that. And it was just filmed completely spontaneously. Had no idea what I was saying, what I was doing, why I was even making this video. Just filmed it, put it up on YouTube for the whole world to see. Crazy. And after that, I just kept doing it. I just kept filming random videos on random topics. Anything that I thought was interesting or funny or cool, I would film about it and put the videos up on YouTube. And again, I just had no idea what I was doing, and I was kind of treating YouTube like show and tell. I had no strategy. I didn't care about my niche. I just wanted to be here doing this thing and making videos because I thought it was so fun and so cool. I also had this limiting belief within myself, which to be fair, I still have to this day, which was like, I am not good at technical things because I've never been very good at or very interested in things like math and physics and like computer science-y kind of things. We used to have ICT lessons at school where they would like teach us PowerPoint and like Excel spreadsheets and Windows Movie Maker and whatever, and I thought the whole thing was very complicated, weird, and boring, and I didn't like it. So I had this limiting belief within myself where I was like, video editing is a technical thing and I am not good at technical things, therefore I didn't even attempt to edit my videos. I think for probably like the first 6 months or so, probably something thereabouts. Like I had iMovie on the laptop and I knew what it was and what it was for. And I was just like, nope, too complicated, can't do it. I suck at that kind of thing. And I would literally, so many of my videos, probably like the first, I don't know, 20 or so videos were probably just shot in photo booth in one take. And there's like even like the little lag in the first seconds where like you click the button and you can hear me clicking the button to start recording, and it takes a moment for like the camera to catch up. It was a moment. And of course, I also had the same belief about YouTube analytics. YouTube analytics, big scary charts and graphs and whatever. I am not good at that kind of thing. I don't understand that kind of thing. So I completely ignored my analytics and I didn't edit any of my videos. And that was kind of how I started. And at the time, one of my favorite YouTube channels to watch was Graveyard Girl. And I saw a video of hers one day where she talked about how she is not good at technical things and she still uses iMovie to edit her videos instead of using any of the like more expensive, fancier paid editing softwares. And I thought, look at her, like graveyard girl who has this very bubbly, random, funny personality, very similar to mine, a little bit weird, very similar to me. And she's not good at technical things, and she still edits with iMovie, even though she was already a very successful YouTuber herself. And I thought, if she can do it with like limited technical knowledge, then I can too. Eventually, I dipped my toe into using iMovie, and my editing was very bad for a very long time, but it's fine. It was fine because I was doing it, and that was awesome, and it was really exciting. And that was one of the big things looking back on my YouTube journey that I wish I had kept, was more of that just like childlike wonder, just that excitement to be doing this thing and not really caring too much about the analytics and how well my videos are doing. I literally was just so impatient. As soon as I posted a video, I couldn't wait to post the next one. And there are so many, like in those early years, literally, I was posting constantly. This is 2015. I had uploads January 24, 25, 26, 27, and then a little break, January 30. Then February 1, 2, 3, 7, 7, 2 videos in one day. 8, 9, 10. Then I got expelled from high school for dyeing my hair blue. Still mad about that. Should we do a story time? It's been 10 years. Should we do a story time? Anyway, so I took a little break, February 10th, and then 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 23rd again, 24, 25, 27. I was like, I've been expelled now. I might as well go like dive fully into this YouTube thing. And all of these videos were getting probably like, I don't know, 13 views, 50 views, 100 views here and there. Like they were not getting a lot of views, but I was getting comments occasionally. I loved getting comments. I still love getting comments. Comments are like the best kind of interaction because it's personal and it takes time and it's like qualitative rather than quantitative, right? Like views and likes and stuff are nice. That's quantitative, but with comments, you actually really get to know your audience and like hear from real people, not just like statistics on a screen. And that was really nice. And it still is very, very nice. But anyway, so in 2016, I had my first viral video, which is still the most viewed video on my channel. That was my speaking Romanian video, which is currently sitting at 158,000 views. And that video came out in 2016, and it kind of threw my channel into a period of rapid growth where my subscriber count was going up and up and up really, really fast. And because I still wasn't really paying attention to my analytics, didn't really know what was going on with that, I don't think I realized at first that that was the video that was taking off. I was just kind of like, why do I have so many subscribers suddenly? You know, and I was like, my channel is going viral. My channel is growing, and I got very excited about that. But eventually I realized that it was just that one video that was driving all of that viral rapid growth. And the thing was that I wasn't really planning on making a lot more videos in Romanian or about Romania. I made a few more, but it wasn't like what I wanted to be known for. I wanted a bit of a broader kind of net as far as my niche or my video topics. And also I'm a little bit awkward speaking Romanian because I'm from Romania, but I grew up like going to English speaking schools, so my English is better than my Romanian, and I get very self-conscious that like even though I speak it like a native, I'm not as like eloquent in Romanian as I am in English, and so that makes me feel a little bit awkward and insecure. And so eventually when that video kind of came down from its peak and the growth slowed down, I think it was very discouraging to me because having seen the sub count go up so quickly, I hoped it would continue. It was looking like, you know, this is really gonna happen. I'm gonna like be a real YouTuber. But in reality, like it was only that one video that was getting a lot of views and a lot of attention. And I think it did hurt my feelings a little bit and made me kind of sad. So that year that the Speaking Romanian video went viral, I had posted 101 videos. In 2017, I posted 81 videos. In 2018, I posted 53 videos. In 2018, we moved to Germany, which was not my choice, and which was really emotionally difficult for me. So 2019, I only posted 17 videos the entire year. I was also like in my 20s by now, and there were certain expectations of me to at least try to become a fully functioning adult, which I struggle with because of mental health things and just kind of being moved to a foreign country, not very much by choice, at such a important time in my life was a bit traumatizing and something I still haven't really recovered from. But like as the years went by and as I started growing up and getting better at this YouTube thing and like understanding video editing and niches and my analytics and all of these things, I started judging myself more harshly. On one hand, it was good because it made me try to focus more on quality and like pay attention to that more. But on the other hand, it also allowed for imposter syndrome to creep in and to make me just very insecure and think that I sucked. And when you think that you suck at something, it makes you want to do it less. I also for a while was really into making beauty content on YouTube, and that is a very, very, very expensive niche to be in because there's that pressure to be the first to buy all of the limited edition releases, which I of course never was because I wasn't in the US. So everything that got to me a lot later. And by that point, the bigger beauty YouTubers had already made their videos about that eyeshadow palette or whatever. And I was late to the train and the world had already moved on. So I spent years kind of like spending way too much money on makeup, trying to make the beauty YouTuber thing work. And I'm glad I moved on from that because like I still love makeup, but it was a very expensive hobby to have. And I'm a much more like multifaceted person than that. And I have a lot of other hobbies that I also want to talk about on here. And makeup was just like a very little part of who I am. But so recently I have been thinking a lot about imposter syndrome and having looked back on my analytics and like seeing that there have been multiple years where I've posted, you know, less than 20 videos in the whole year or less than one video per week. It really got me thinking about that idea of like your fear of looking stupid or looking cringe is holding you back. Sure, there are a lot of people who started on YouTube around the same time as me and have had a lot more success, but also maybe those people were more consistent than I was. And also maybe not everybody has to grow at the same rate. There are also plenty of other creators who, like me, have been on YouTube for 5 years, 10 years, and never went viral, never really had a lot of growth. And then suddenly, like a decade in, their channel starts growing and they reach that goal of becoming a full-time creator. So I don't think it's too late for me, and this is still the dream. And I'm starting to realize just how much imposter syndrome has held me back. Because the thing is, people who are naively overconfident also put themselves out there more, the same way that I did in my early years on YouTube. I wasn't very good at what I was doing. It was very weird and very cringe, but I was really consistent and I was putting out so much content. And that did lead me to my first viral video, was just that like throwing spaghetti at the wall approach. And putting yourself out there and making more and doing more naturally leads to getting better at that thing and increasing your likelihood of success. Nowadays, now that I don't have that childlike wonder and naivete and lack of imposter syndrome, what I will do is I will post a video and then I will sit there looking at the analytics and judging that video and how it's performing. And if it's not performing well, if it's not getting a lot of views, then I think I suck and I did a bad job and I made a bad video. A lot of the time, those videos that do badly the first few days will like randomly take off weeks or months later and get a lot of views. So that is something I should learn from. But when a video does badly in its first few days, it makes me scared to post the next video because I'm like, I gotta wait for this most recent video to get a few more views. Maybe it just needs a little more time. And I feel like if I post another video, it's gonna bury it and then that video is just gonna be forgotten. That's not how it works, but it's how I sometimes feel. After a failure, you're afraid to fail again so soon. So you kind of put off putting your work out there because you don't want to fail again. And as long as you don't put anything out there, you can't fail, but you also can't succeed. I do the same thing when I'm working on a video that I really care about, that I'm really excited about because I want it to do well, and I'm afraid that once I put it out there, it's not gonna do well and that would really hurt my feelings. So I'll just like sit on that video for a long time rather than putting it out into the world for judgment. Meanwhile, someone else out there with no imposter syndrome is posting with reckless abandon like I did in my early days and is getting their lucky break and is growing their channel. So that's a feeling and an attitude that I really want to recapture, is that just childlike wonder and excitement about creating and putting my videos out there that I had in the early days, because this is still my dream job and I do still believe in it. And ironically, I feel like I saw more success when I was posting without thinking so much about it and without judging myself so harshly. That just raw spontaneity and passion and excitement is so authentic and so real. Of course I can get better at editing, of course I can make better thumbnails and better titles, of course I can pay more attention to my analytics, but also, again, I am not a very technically minded person, and the way that I show up the most authentically, and I think the internet loves authenticity and I love authenticity and I love being able to be authentic. The way I show up most authentically is through a little bit of randomness and through a little bit of just childlike excitement about a thing. I don't need to be the best video editor in the world to make this channel successful. I don't need to be a professional filmmaker and like use very, very expensive fancy camera gear. I just need to be myself. It's not just about succeeding, it's also about how you want to succeed, and I do not want to succeed by having to put in a lot of work into my technical knowledge. I would rather be myself and talk about the things that I like and hope that my videos find people who like those same things and like hearing me talk about them. So that is where we are now, in my 10th, or I guess technically 11th year now on YouTube, trying to recapture the joy and the wonder and the excitement and that show and tell attitude that I had in the early days, and just post more. Like, stop worrying so much about the views and the click-through rate and the watch time and all of these things, and just be my authentic, slightly chaotic self. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found some nuggets of wisdom in there that will hopefully help you on your creative journey or whatever project it is that you are currently working on that's important to you in your life. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's to think less and create more. We're always so afraid of people judging us harshly and negatively, but not considering the kind of like bad attitude and negative headspace it takes to be that judgmental person. So do we really even care about their judgy opinions? I don't think so. If you want to join me for my journey, then please go ahead and subscribe to this channel for more cozy, chaotic, and creative videos like this one. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.